everyone, welcome to my channel, and this is actually my first video on YouTube. My name is Valeria and currently I'm actually based in Argentina, in Buenos Aires. I've created this channel because I want to share my experience, and I have been living in China for nearly 6 years, so I have a lot to tell you, and today I will be talking about my experience in China and the start of it. So I actually think my story is kind of crazy. That's why I want to start this YouTube channel. The reason is why is it so crazy is because I left my hometown. I'm from a city in Siberia, and I just made a completely random decision. I've never thought about China as a destination for me, and even less as a place for me to go to study, live, or work. So, one day my dad comes to me and asks, "Hey, would you like to go to China?" And I was like, no. I mean, I had zero idea back then. I was 17 years old or even 16 by that time only. So I was just afraid, scared, and I had no idea about China. I mean, I knew nothing. So I said no to my dad, but one day to another, I was just thinking, well, I'm from Siberia. Maybe it would be a good choice to go to China to just find something new. I spoke no Chinese. I didn't know anything about Chinese culture. My English was really basic. I knew nothing about the world, just like that. So from one day to another, I decided, yeah, Dad, I will go to China. I went to China because I was studying at a university in China. I was studying in Chinese. Yes. I mean, when I'm saying that I spoke no Chinese, that's a bit of a lie, because actually I did speak a little bit, but it was so basic and so bad. I studied 1 year with a private tutor, but then I arrived to China, and quickly I realized that as soon as I spoke to the first Chinese person at the supermarket, they didn't understand me and I couldn't understand them. So that was kind of a bummer. I knew no one in China. I had no friends. Obviously, I had no relatives there. I didn't know anything. I wasn't even sure how to prepare breakfast for myself. That's how I felt back then. I mean, the first months, I was just crying a lot, alone, in my room. I was calling my parents and trying to somehow go back to my hometown, but it didn't happen, and luckily it didn't happen. I found lots of friends because people were super open-minded and super talkative. So, and everybody was interested about each other. There were many students from many different countries. So that was like, wow, actually, like it was a lot for me, because I did go abroad a few times before, but I never met any friends. I never met any friends. So it was completely new for me. It was really scary. It was really like, wow, I remember those times and I feel so happy. At our university, it was super comfortable. There's a thing in China. I don't know if every university has that, but a lot of big ones surely do. It's very comfortable, the system, because you have everything at the university. So shops, canteen, restaurants, coffee shops. I think we even had like a tiny gym or something. All the buildings. So everything you are going to do, it's going to be there. Yeah. Sometimes it can be gigantic, so you maybe need to take a bicycle or something, or you need to walk for a long time. But in my case, the university was kind of small, so for me to go from one point to the other, it was just, maybe, I don't know, 5 minutes, 7, maybe 10. Jesus, I can't remember right now, but it wasn't much time. That's the point. It was very convenient. I started to make new friends. I started to learn English. I had the choice between English and Chinese. So, I just chose English because it was easier. Of course, at the same time, I was learning Chinese because my first year was language course, nothing else. And after a year, I continued with the same university in Beijing. I didn't mention that. I went to Beijing, and I went to Beijing in 2014. So, geez, that is such a long time ago. That is such a long time ago. So I went to Beijing in 2014. One more time, alone. I was 18 years old. I knew nothing about the world. A year later, I started my career. My career is Chinese language. And actually, it was also Chinese language and business. But an interesting thing, at the end of my career, I think that happened on the third year, the university said, like, guys, we won't have the business part because we changed our minds. So finally, I have a career in Chinese language and literature. But honestly, I have never used my diploma ever anywhere. And I'm not sure if I will ever use it, but I have it. Oh, hey, look, I have a diploma. I only finished the bachelor degree in China. It was very difficult. It was difficult. I was studying only with foreigners, so we had like different groups. So that was like a special career only for foreigners. We also lived, most of the people lived in the dorms there, and they were kind of nice. You usually had two people. The curious thing is that our Chinese friends didn't have the same. Their dorms were those small rooms where usually, I think that the minimum was 5 people, the maximum could get up to 8 or something around those numbers. Of course, most of the people are students. We didn't have a choice to rent an apartment because it's really expensive, especially in Beijing. I think the prices are just skyrocketing. They were skyrocketing back then, and what happened to them now, I can only imagine, but it must be expensive. Life in China is cheap if you are thinking about food, typical Chinese food, clothes, and some commodities. If you're talking about very good diet, so a lot of like common Western food, and you are thinking about a good apartment, or at least an apartment, that's going to be very expensive. The prices are high. Of course, once and again, I'm talking about big cities. I'm talking about Beijing, Shanghai, Shenzhen, Guangzhou, and others. Those things are going to be pricey. I will finish this video here. This is just like a trial video. This is my first video. Honestly, it's a new thing for me, so please don't be very judgy to me. I try my best, honestly, and follow me in Instagram. I also have my TikTok. I would really appreciate that. Any support really matters, guys, so thank you for that. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!